All right, folks, we're going to be discussing today a little bit of Filipino content. Was requested, and actually I should have been doing this more often, but things just you start getting off onto these silly, fun little adventures with our phones, and we have fun with it. We still are, and we're going to continue doing it. But this episode of Sean's Amazing Adventures is going to be the story of Steve. This isn't going to be a super long story. It's rather a short story of an encounter I had with a rooster in the Philippines. All right, let's get started with the story of Steve. Once upon a time, there was a white man named Sean who speaks unscripted. Well, Sean, his better half, Karina, said, let's go to the Philippines and visit, and I need to take care of some business out there with property. So I was like, okay. Planned out the trip a month ahead. I did all the research I could online, because I was on the East Coast and it's 8,000 miles away. So I did all the online research I could. And we had a great trip. So the story of Steve, I'm not putting this together really well, but all right. So we get to the Philippines. We get the house, that we rented for the time that we were there, which should have been longer, but it is what it is, or it was what it was. So I found that it was really hard for me to sleep like full nights. I'd wake up several times a night, and I was always the first person to wake up in the morning. So first morning, because we arrived in the afternoon, got the house. I woke up, I don't know, right when the sun was coming up. And we were living in or staying in a subdivision, which is a gated community, with a security guard out front, little security gate booth box, kind of like going into Forest Lawn, Hollywood, So, anyways, well, that was weird. So I wake up and the lady right next door, she had a sorry store, and I kind of knocked. I can't remember exactly what I was told to say, to get their attention, because this is in front of somebody's house. So I kind of, got her attention, and I got myself a nice ice cold Coca-Cola because it was friggin' hot. Init talaga, that means very hot. So I'm walking down the little road. It's okay during the day, I didn't have to have anybody with me, like protection or whatever. That's a different story. So I'm walking and I see on the side of of the street, there's this rooster, and he's in a cage, and the cage was like a mesh box, like a not mesh, but it looked like a small green grocery cart turned upside down, and it was on top of the rooster. I was like, wow, cool. Right on. Okay, so it's sitting up there. I had never seen anything like that before. So come to find out that where that rooster was housed at, the lady that was renting us the house, that was her house, and her son owned that rooster. And she also has a little barbecue store, where she delivers inside the subdivision. You call up, when you want to order some barbecue stick or some fish or whatever, cook it up, walk it right over to your house. That was fun. So I ended up getting acquainted with her son and a couple other people inside the gated community, and they treated me really well. It's just it was just what it was, because they're not used to having or weren't used to having a foreigner come and hang out. So we were partying, eating barbecue, and drinking that Red Horse. I don't like Red Horse. I did when I was there. because it was kind of a novelty at the time. But this isn't a story about Red Horse. This is the story of Steve. So I asked this kid, it's like, and I say kid, he's in his 20s. Really fun dude, really funny dude. I can't remember his name, but we do remember Steve's name. And I said, what's your rooster's name? And he was like, we don't have a name for Steve. He doesn't have a name. And I says, well, I'm going to name him. And everyone else was like, yeah, you name him. And that was a no-brainer. I named the rooster Steve. And we had a good time that night. I was hanging out with like 4 or 5 different dudes in the corner. Felt very safe. Steve was there, and it was just fun. And that wasn't the only night that I hung out on the corner at a table eating barbecue stick. I kind of stayed away from the fish. I like fish, but this isn't a fish story. This is a Steve story. So Steve was there, every night with us. He was like I considered him like it was one of their pets, and I knew what was up. I already knew Steve's purpose in life. So almost every morning, I'd wake up. I didn't do the routine. I kind of tried to get into a routine, but I'd wake up, go outside, go to the Sorry store, get a nice cold beverage. And I knew right where Steve was. Everyone was still sleeping. So I go hang out with Steve, 5-10 minutes, I remember one morning I went out there and they took his rooster tail, and they had it bound up in like a rubber band or a hair tie. I used to have long hair. I used to keep my hair in a ponytail. His tail was like, it looked cute. So I hung out with Steve all the time when I was there. And, unfortunately, Steve is no longer with us because of Steve's purpose on this planet that we call flat Earth. Steve was raised to be, and here's a disclaimer, should have done at the beginning, I do not promote animal cruelty. Okay? This type of behavior and this type of sport in the United States, you will go to jail. Okay? Steve was raised to be a fighting cock. Okay? Cockfighting. Most of us know what cockfighting is. If I wasn't with Karina, I wouldn't. You gotta, it's not draw the line, but you gotta just accept things for how they are in different countries. If you are with somebody that is from another country, you have to accept their culture for what it is. Out there, that is completely acceptable, and people make a lot of money doing it. Some people survive on it. So it's just how it is. It is what it is. Everyone says that these days. It is what it is, and I'm one of them. So Steve was alive when I left, but I found out later that Steve is no longer with us. So that's the story of Steve. He died. Steve died with a name. Okay, he wasn't a number. He died with a name, and kind of sucks. I would never do that to an animal. Now, switching gears on to the same subject of that, Karina's nephew, his name's Gilbert, no last names. We went over to his house for Karina's son's birthday party. It was pretty extravagant, It was cool. Karina went, earlier that day and, purchased a pig, which got turned into lechon. It was Karina's son's 31st birthday celebration. So we get to Karina's nephew's house, and everything's all prepared. It's a birthday party. It was awesome. I mean, they were doing karaoke, loud karaoke. Karaoke was invented in the Philippines. As far as I know, karaoke was invented in the Philippines. Or videoke, one or the other, or both. That was cool. I didn't get on the mic. I'll get on the mic right here, but you won't see me doing that. Probably because I can't sing and I get stage fright. I need to stay on point here though. So Karina's nephew has countless chickens, at least 10 roosters, excuse me. And they live in these little tents and they have leashes on their legs so they can't, run away. Those are made for money. Walked around the property, he's showing me like feeding them, during the birthday party. And he had baby roosters too. That was cute. But I burped, excuse me. That was cute. And also he had a practice ring, a practice boxing ring. Now again, I'm no advocate for animal cruelty, nor am I for cockfighting. However, when Philippine culture and other cultures, I'm sure, who practice cockfighting for capitalism, which is, hey, we all want to capitalize, unless you're a Democrat. That's the last time I'll say that word in this video, Democrat. Oh, that's the second time and the last time. Yeah, he had a boxing ring, and the cool thing and what made it fun, and I cannot find the video. I'll try and do some more. I shot videos of a mock cockfight. I've never said that terminology before. Strange. So what they do is they put boxing gloves on. Because normally when these roosters are fighting, they have blades stuck to their, or wrapped to their stuff, because that's how they kill each other. But in this case, they had boxing gloves on, and those you could buy them online. You tie them to your chicken's feet, just right above their talons, or your rooster, excuse me, and they go at it. But they're not killing each other because they're hopefully that camera didn't shake. They're boxing gloves in a ring, and I filmed it. I can't find the gosh darn it video, but it was cool to watch. Nobody got hurt in the making of that video, but it was just really, really interesting to see and actually witness firsthand how things like that are accepted, in that country. I'm sure it's accepted in other countries as well, and I'm not going to do any sleuth work on it, because this is the story of Steve. So yeah, Steve, he ended up, as far as I know, he had he won a couple championships, but in the end, Steve lost his life, and it's kind of sad. I would love to see a rooster. I don't know how long roosters live, what their life expectancy is, if they're just like treated like a house cat or a dog. Yeah, it'd be cool to go back there and see Steve. But unfortunately we can't do that because Steve is no longer with us. So yeah, that's the story of Steve, with a little, what do you call it? Breakaway to, Karina's nephew. And unfortunately his because of the China virus, they can't be doing the cockfighting. So I guess his chickens were just, getting fat and old and not exercising. And I haven't heard an update on it. I haven't asked. I'm going to ask probably tomorrow what the update on his rooster farm in the backyard, how that's doing. But yeah, these people take really good care of these roosters. Even though it's an unacceptable purpose to raise an animal for that. Just like dog fighting, they're both equally as bad. But in that country, it's just the way of life. It's a big deal out there. That's why if you go out there, all you're gonna hear is roosters, and 98% of these people that have roosters are using them for that purpose. So that's the story of Steve. Kind of long. So I'm gonna wrap this video up with some clips of our trip there. I didn't take too many pictures when I was there, unfortunately. You know, I had a nice phone, but I wasn't camera happy at the time. I'm a little more camera happy these days, obviously. But yeah, so I'll wrap this one up and show you guys some videos and pictures of some Philippine related content. I hope you guys enjoyed this video if you made it all the way through. And until next time, see you.
I hope they don't.
I don't think it's gonna. Be careful.
Walk past.
Are you scared?
Yeah, I'm scared of that.
It's just walking down the street. What the?
I guess they
What the fuck?
come out from the...
Did they escape? Got a cow walking down the street.
With the family, mom, my sister, Nessa, Jan is pushing. Hold on. Hi, Jaya. This is my beautiful Jaya.